to the bold analysis. The anti-Ruto euphoria seems to be organic, contrary to state narrative that the opposition politicians are inciting the populace against Kenya Kwanza regime. And in this podcast, we are going to look into the anti-Ruto oath song that is now emerging from Kirinyaga. So if you remember the song that was from Muranga, that was done by Betty Maina, there seems to be a new version where they're saying we'll never vote William Ruto yet again. And I'll demonstrate to you why even the short-lived Harambee Stars euphoria could not salvage President Ruto from the wrath of the masses who continue to demand accountability. But before we delve more into that, I still want to say thank you, and we still urge you to support our project we are doing in Njoro. We've been camping here in Njoro for the last 3 days to build a house for Mama Rahab Ngina, who is blind, widowed. The husband died the last PEV. They were displaced and given a place somewhere where they were living. We've established that former President Uhuru Kenyatta successfully gave them the titles for the place. But her house that was built 15 years ago, the structure is in a very bad state. And this is what she calls house, or rather home, for the last couple of months. When her case was brought to us, we came to this place and really found the real situation. And that is why we opted that Atakama, she has the challenge of not seeing, because she depends on the society and the community to support her. But at least she deserves a decent place she can sleep. Whatever you are seeing, hizo ndio vitu analalia. So our intervention here is a bit wide. We are building her a house, and even despite of kwamba akona condition kama hiyo, that she was blind, I'm telling you, she's motherly. I'm telling you, she's motherly. She had a gesture of kindness and humanity. Alichukua mtoto mwingine who was also just abandoned there in the society. Huyo mtoto ndio hata anamsaidia kumtembeza hapa na pale, and she cannot be able to provide for her. So we also opted kwamba at least pia tupeleke huyo mtoto shule, sort out her education. And we believe that because she also gave a gesture, this boy, hata tukimpeleka shule siku moja akirudi hapa nyumbani, at least she could get a place, anaweza soma, anaweza kaa. I've been told we can even do the solar after we are done with that house. And because of course she's blind, it's really the maximum light inafaa ikuwe hapo nyingi sana. So ladies and gentlemen, we are coming back for you, that we want to set up a house for Rahab. We've started, and as I said, that I was soliciting or of course mobilizing so that we get the bricks and that. We brought the bricks. The bricks are now enough, according to what my fundis are saying. And this is the place nyumba imefika, wamekuwa kijenga. We're hoping that wanaweza fika Linton probably tomorrow evening, by today evening or tomorrow mid-morning. We also brought cement that I'm also told the big one from Mogotio, the big, is it the 10, ile fao kubwa? And we brought in cement, which of course we will add. We brought in around 15, but we still add because hiyo itatumika baadaye. Now, what is remaining and the focus that I now want us to help is on the roofing. Roofing, we need 26 mabati pieces. And again, we also need mbao, because for the roofing and the nails and chuma za kukoroga the lintel. That is what I'm asking us to do. I think that also if you can be able to pull around 60,000 by today, kesho, I believe, kesho mchana will be able to bring that. Our plan is we bring all the things, mobilize and buy all the things, so that hata kama tutaacha nyumba ikijengwa, I will leave here on Monday and leave David and the rest of the team here, so that wafanye when you come back, we'll just come to launch tukimpatia vitu zingine. We'll also need to buy her the beddings, the mattresses, the mattress.
Sasa hii nikupewa nilipe yangu ni mingine. Nikawekelea sasa naweka manguo hivi.
Na imeisha ukweli.
Sasa wakati tunalala nako hapa. Makojo hata makojo tunalala. Unaona kama kwa jina naitwa Ngema Mwangi. Naomba watu wa moyo wa upendo na huruma, moyo wa upendo na huruma wanisaidie tu. Kwa sababu kwenye maisha naishi ya maisha ya shida. Niko na mtoto hapa
And other things. Hata nguo, I'm coming back to Nairobi. Kama uko na nguo, please utanipatia. When I come back to hand over the house, nitaleta. All that is needed. And I believe that God will bless us as we restore the dignity of Mama Rahab. Ladies and gentlemen, it is worth noting that immediately Harambee Stars lost the match against Madagascar, and of course, they had bolted out of the CHAN competition that we were co-hosting with our neighbors Tanzania and Uganda. Of course, today we have to support Uganda. Even yesterday, Tanzania lost to Morocco. So the only host remaining that competition is Uganda. And now the region have to support Uganda. We continue to congratulate the boys for the job well done. Something interesting happened in Nairobi CBD. The crowd which was gathering around archives erupted in the one-term chant running through the streets of CBD, reminding the president that whatever the case, we are back to serious business. Okay? Remember, it had to take the game to finish fast. The way mchezo iliisha, sasa our people are back to factory settings. You know, sometimes if you study Kenyan politics, you will really understand what we are made of. We are resilient, and we are a people that tukiangalia mahali tumeangalia, you cannot distract us. So they were telling the president, yes, Harambee Stars sports is there, but we are back to the accountability question. This has been an interesting one. Despite of the affordable housing being, you can see the way president's handlers tried to hijack the Harambee Stars' success in the competition to galvanize the masses around the messaging that was to portray President Ruto, of course, for President Ruto to score some political bonker points from it. It went to the stretch that even the head of state was the man of God praying for Harambee Stars.
Our Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this evening. Thank you for this team, Team Kenya, Team Harambee Stars. We want to commit these good citizens of our country, these good players, to your good hands. As they play, protect them, Heavenly Father. Give them success in all the remaining games. We pray for our nation. Thank you for the funds that have come through for them to support them. Thank you for all who have come to support these young people of our nation. Thank you for their families. We want to pray over their lives that you will make.
And all this were part of public stunts that were being staged so that people credit William Ruto for all this. And please, I do not feel that President made a mistake to pray. We all prayed for the team. But the publicity stunt was staged. Some good man tells me, Kevin, that prayer could still be made out of cameras. But when it was captured on camera, there was an objective to it, and that is why we must bring it forth. Look at the affordable housing promise. Affordable housing is a national government project funded by taxpayers' money, houses built on public land that is not controlled, is not supposed to be controlled by the president, and is under the management of Affordable Housing Authority. It's a well under the boma yangu. It's a gap with the structure on how it is being managed. But because we wanted to get political bonga points, it had to be packaged that William Ruto gave Harambee Stars, was supposed to give Harambee Stars the houses. Of course, we all said, job well done. With the right structure, the right criteria, we should actually credit the boys. Yes, we should actually credit the boys. And that project was actually packaged as President's Mercy. I remember analyzing it here. It was good to reward the boys, but it's not President's Mercy. It is government, because it's a government project. I will later see the riddle of people blaming Rigathi Gachagua for the loss, and I would not want to belabor that nonsense. People are banked to the accountability questions, and the short-lived strategy for presidents to get reprieve from the masses by the Harambee Stars excitement seem not to be coming forth. As I take you to Kirinyaga, I would want to take a minute and still remind you to send in anything you have to support our project in Njoro. We are in process. So we are doing today and tomorrow, then we'll close it up on Monday. I will only come back to finalize the project later in the week after it's complete. In Kirinyaga County, this is where Murkomen was actually doing some Jukwaa la Usalama. And in this county, where there have been a little political activities, but the opposition is really strong there, this video has emerged of some women that had been attending some event were singing enthusiastically about the song. And I want us to watch this. Now, some interesting observation I've made is the enthusiasm of those who are singing. They are saying that the meaning of that song is, we'll never vote back, we'll never vote again for President Ruto. It was a deep message intended for a purpose, if you ask me, and probably it is just a matter of time, we see. And I look at that. By the way, let me tell you, in 2022, the person that voted for William Ruto in Mount Kenya was this woman known as Mama Mboga. Ruto targeted a lot of messaging. President Ruto targeted a lot of messaging and a lot of activities. Remember this economic forums he was telling them about nitatoa nini, nitatoa Shylock, I give you cheaper loans, attending the churches, giving donations, the choir, the women group, and this and that. There've been a lot of it. And I see that is what is being done. So if this is to happen, it's showing you how the euphoria is still maintained in Kisii County. Richard Onyonka, led some anti-Ruto protest. But an interesting video has also emerged of him was talking in a funeral. And yes, I don't fancy this issue of politicians getting entitlements in funerals where you want to talk. But I like the interesting bit of that video of when I ask around here is that preacher denied Onyonka a chance to speak, but he had given the other UDA leaders.
Understand what I was supposed to do as an MP. He told me the only way you are going to have your governance and you as a member of parliament in this area becoming somebody of substance, you must be fair, you must be equitable, you must be responsible, and you must treat everybody with equity. Yeah. CDF mata alia jafuti maidigozi wa chiralia otawaja uturangelera bekaransa mata alia obisi no mugaka chimito wako bicharaji sawa sawa ayefata kakimbo lugande just like you. I'm not saying anything negative political.
I am not a fan. I don't fancy it, and when I'm in charge of a program, funeral program back home, yeah, the characters know we don't give, we don't completely, yeah, we don't give. I don't like politicians. Let me give you a snippet. We've done some houses in Embu. We've done 2 houses in Embu. We've done some 5 in Kakamega, and without mentioning any, kuna project tulijenga. Immediately we left. The next day, some people masquerading as handmen of area MP went there and started taking credit, telling them that wao ndio walituita, and so we should credit them. Those should credit them. I don't want to mention specific place, but it's amongst one of those places. And that tells you how politicians sometimes are, bad manners. If you want to know pressure is increasing, Mudavadi was in Sabatia, Vihiga County. Here, he lost his temper when he was asked about what he has done for the people.
Na mimi sitangazi huko ati nini. But this is what we do. And by the way, I'm not the member of parliament of Sabatia. Muache hii mchezo. There's a member of parliament. He has CDF. They are MCS. They have money from the county government. Mufanye kazi. Wacha kuzungumza mambo ya musale. Mimi nilimaliza kazi yangu ya ujumbe and I handed over. Siwezi hand over tena mnaniona ati nazunguka hapo. It's not my business to be local. Nyinyi sasa, nyinyi viongozi hapa, you are the leaders, not me. Do your job. Hey.
This is Mudavadi for you. So things are hot. Kunot, really get it. So what has sustained the anti-Ruto euphoria? The dominant thinking is regardless, is synthesizing the public, the cousin, this and that. That is not the issue. According to me, these are the 4 factors that is sustaining. You know, a president can be hated or a regime can be unpopular. But I think Kenya Kwanza has been unpopular for quite so long. And this is the problem. The first one is the media state hostility. There is this word injecting. When you watch programs, the news gang, the password, the checkpoint, punchline, if you watch several mainstream political programs, you will see the media injecting. Watch the news gang, Yvonne Okwara. Oh, that she's been injecting. And let me tell you, the media and state relationship must not be good, but it must not be too hostile, because the state loses. And the state is the person that has brought all this. Why? How do you think you can get a conducive media coverage? I saw a conducive media coverage. There was a time the CS for ICT, that is Kabogo, was attending a media council event. And he said that there are news headlines, these ones that the stinging news, the hard news headlines, hard pressing news headlines by Standard are processed from somewhere. I don't know, is it somewhere, then they're sent to Standard. And then whenever there is a protest or in public engagement, the police always target journalists. Journalists, the reporters that are innocent. Remember, even if you want to attack a media house, you should go for the big fish. The reporter is someone earning some 40,000, 20,000, 25,000 interns there. So that there have been this notion that this feeling that the state is targeting media, and that has worked against President Ruto. The second problem that has sustained this and this anti-Ruto euphoria is the middle class distress, and this is what I mean. We have been saying for the last 3 years that in William Ruto's structure of his governance and the policies he's been churning out, the one man he's been targeting is the man holding a payslip. That man has cried. That man has always complained. Recently, when there was an alleged pay rise by teachers, they were added that some earned an increase of 29 shillings. Can you compare that with, I saw another proposal from Badi that they wanted now to deduct the housing levy, not from the net pay, not from the gross pay, but from the net pay. Of course, the gross is ile before the deduction. So before they make the deductions is where they put the 1.5. Now they were saying want to remove it from net pay so that wakatezile zengine, if it is deducted from net pay, it is actually less. I don't know as to whether it has been implemented. The teachers here can tell us. But there have been a little bit of distress. Even if you look at the SHA issue, this money is being stolen left, right, and center. But the middle class, the president has not really convinced the middle class that he cares about them. Not yet. And every project coming in, even the doctors have been complaining about promotions. Even the police. There was a police, I think there was another video from Narok, police complaining about unfair mistreatment. Now, treatment. Number 4, the third issue is political inducements. Political inducements just bring temporary two-term chance. What Kindiki is doing, moving around with money in bags, allegedly giving people money, women groups here and there. And I've also seen the president also hosting some people, giving them motorbikes, and you give a paltry, some 10 people in the whole country. They look to me as inducements. They're not empowerment, they're inducements. And the challenge is this, and I would want to challenge Dennis Etumbi and the team. For the empowerment to vision cast, to cast empowerment, can you document one success story? I remember when we used to have Hustler Fund, the president went to do the State of the Nation address and told us about how someone bought a motorbike through Hustler Fund. Even though the story never ended anywhere. Now, in this empowerment, can you go, probably you've done it in many countries, can you go in one and show us one group yenye ilipewa hiyo pesa and it brought some change? We will really, personally, really want to see that. Those inducements are not bringing permanent feel. They're not bringing the feel of good. Yes, unawapatia motorbike. Akirudi nyumbani, bado hana chakula. Akirudi nyumbani, there's still problems. The other third issue is Raila image used as a tool of pacifying the masses. That's a big mistake. If Ruto, it is as a, you want to move around with Raila, I'm going to meet cabinet, Raila come here, sit next to me. Yeah. I'm going to watch Harambee Stars, Raila come here, sit next to me. I'm attending devolution conference, I don't know what, Raila, let's come here, sit next to me. I'm giving a superior seat. Raila cannot be used to pacify the masses. Why? Because himself, in the political sphere of the country had been seeing him as a defender of the people. What William Ruto sees as a tool to pacify the masses, on this other side of the lens, is seen as a man betraying his own people. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an interesting analysis coming next. I want to urge you to subscribe to this channel. And also, if you want to get full story of Rahab, our Njoro project, visit our sister channel, The Bold Foundation, and you'll watch that video there. We are documenting all the projects, all the videos that we do, all the projects that we do in that foundation channel. Thank you.